Thing over Team Singularity, and almost surprising saying that because Singularity had 2 sets of racks destroyed. If they just simply reset, fell back, regrouped, then likely could have been the victors in the long run there. But they went for the overextension. They went for all in play of sorts with the multiple buybacks, and Winstrike held off just long enough and then pushed down mid with the Luna strat and won the game. So obviously deserving win for them, but can't help but think Singularity was so close to pulling off a pretty good upset in game number 1 and find a very clever mechanic abuse of a Morphling Dark Willow combo, but still not enough. I still think that combo is ridiculous, even broken to an extent, despite the loss, but not unable to get the win there. But I'm Break CBK, joined by Hasbaz once again. First pick is upon us.
Yeah, I'm kind of happy in a way they lost, no matter how fun it was, just for the sake of my pubs. But I now can't stop thinking about what other regular abilities are upgraded by Ags. And, you know, if you have a Morphling on either your team or the enemy team, you know, you just think about an Ags upgrade. You know, Singularity, imagine if they take a Morphling now with the Earthshaker, he's going to be leaping all around. And I know Excalibur loves the hero. We talked about Excalibur loving the hero. And so I'm honestly surprised that Winstrike didn't first ban it. I think on the back of that display, I might have first banned the hero, but because Singularity do have first pick, it does mean that the IO isn't getting through this time.
Yeah, that's true. The second pick Morphling is certainly possible. Excuse me, from Singularity right here. Doom from Winstrike is going to be their opening after the Earthshaker comes out. Already a potential answer to a Morphling if it was to come, so maybe some preemptive thoughts there. Yeah.
Well, we've seen a lot of people like Doom just for the fact that he is so solid. Eventually, he does get that Blink Dagger and the War Stomp, so he can start off fights. And if you pick a Doom as your first pick, you know he's not going to lose the lane too bad. You know, he'll either come out even or just behind. And what more can you ask from your offlaner, really?
Not much more. As long as he does his job there, then that's what matters. It'll just fall in place as the game picks up, ideally. But Winstrike, not sure what to go with that second pick. You do notice they banned the IO themselves as well, and I mean, IO was certainly felt. It maybe wasn't as overwhelming, but I don't know. IO's not necessarily ever been an overwhelmingly dominant, game-changing, dominating hero. It's just always been a very good support that's there to sustain and there to activate the team for making plays. So I am not surprised to see it just banned this time around, knowing that they didn't have the first pick. Giving it up to Jerry could have been bad. So Oracle, though, the second pick for Winstrike is what they settle on eventually.
Yeah, they love playing this Oracle on... oh, actually, no, it's on Winstrike. I was going to say they love it on Maposhka, and I realized I'm looking at the totally wrong team. But I mean, Oracle, we've seen a whole bunch of this hero in the last patch. Hasn't really changed too much. It's just such a strong 5 position support, offers a lot of burst, a lot of sustain. And if you're sitting behind your carry while you're going for a push, you know, you're going to be able to save them and turn around the team fight. So you have to love an Oracle. You can't hate it too bad.
Templar Assassin then coming out for Singularity. Ping Vinsec, a hero that he's played before, of course, plenty. Going to be likely his mid option. So they don't go the Morphling second pick. I mean, I'm with you. The idea of an Ags benefiting a non-ultimate ability, and like you talked about with the Earthshaker, maybe something was there, but at least not going for it yet. They are going to ban a Batrider as the follow-up. Of course, a great lane counter, as we saw earlier today. If they want to go that logic too, Jakiro is another one that is very good against TA in the lane phase. Whether or not you're as concerned about him is up for debate. So we'll see if that's what they think about. But TA with the second pick.
Yeah, I also, Singularity, they can't pick the Batrider themselves even if they wanted it, just because they're up against the Oracle. So they need to ban it away from Winstrike. This hero is still very prized, as you said, for his lane dominance. Not even if he was made versus the TA, even as a 4 position with that Doom, he would be very difficult to deal with. For the side of Winstrike, we're now in the second phase. I think they should still ban the Morphling, if I'm honest. I really feel you don't want to let that hero slip through for Excalibur.
Team ban.
Yeah, no matter if they're doing like a cheese strategy with it or not, it is a strong hero. So I kind of like, they have a Doom and even Oracle is not bad against Morphling, so they have a couple of answers. So maybe they are just feeling confident. They're up 1-0 even. So a couple of these factors coming into play of like, do we really want to waste a ban on the hero? I'm sure is part of it. But they banned Slark instead, which is a little odd. And that's not a hero that we really have seen a lot lately. And I'm looking up now. Base attack speed increased from 100 to 120. So a slight buff there for the hero, certainly, but doesn't seem like a, oh god, let's worry about Slark now buff.
Yeah, I find that really interesting. Obviously, Doom is just a very tanky hero, and the Slark with his oh god, what's the name of the
Dark
ability where
Pact?
he steals? No, where he steals your stats.
Essence Shift.
Yes, Essence Shift. Sorry, it's been so long since I've honestly played or seen the hero that I can't remember the name of his skills anymore. But with that Essence Shift, when you're against these strength carries in lane, they let you hit them again and again and again, just because they're so tanky, and you're losing strength, you're giving him agility. So I kind of understand that, and maybe they believe that Slark has been patched to a point where he's playable again, but not a hero we've seen. Maybe I used to hate the Slark, but because it's been so long without him, maybe I do have a bit of a fondness to see that fishy boy once again.
No, we're not going to see it here, as that spanned with the Troll Warlord, the Ember Spirit band to follow with the Bat Rider. Certainly another good matchup against TA and your more typical mid hero. So again, the case of how concerned is Winstrike about the TA mid, and what do they really want to match up against them the best? So there is that Jakira option if so. There are other ones that certainly are there too if they want to stretch. Something like a Venomancer comes to mind. Just basically any dot. Yeah, it's consistent damage from multiple sources to take off that refraction, of course, is a big part of it. But
yeah, I mean that's why they get rid of the Ember Spirit as well, because he has a half decent time versus the TA. He usually doesn't win on CS, but he is able to kill the TA with that. Oh, whoa, Flame Guard. I'm missing all the names of spells today. Yes, so for the side of Winstrike, they have a chance now to pick up a 4 position first or a carrion. They're taking the Dark Willow. Wow, I did not realize this hero would be such priority nowadays.
If they pick Morphling, I swear to God. If Winstrike is like, you know what, that was a pretty cool idea you guys had there. We're going to pick Morphling. It's not out of the question, really isn't. Like, so far, TA and Earthshaker aren't like, oh my god, we can't pick Morphling. So
10 seconds remaining.
Singularity's in an interesting spot now, because they of course know that they know this cheese.
5 seconds remaining.
Do they take Morphling and go for we talked about even the Earthshaker synergy, or just play normal Morphling game, or do they try to pick a preemptive counter? I like where this draft's going.
I mean, the OD, you don't really want to be picking Outworld Devourer on the side of Singularity, because, you've picked your TA. TA really needs to be mid, needs those early levels to allow her to accelerate in the jungle. Because at the moment, I think OD probably is the best counter to Morphling, just because you are able to strip him of his mana so quickly. But yeah, Dark Willow. I do like it in a dual lane with the Doom, though, because, Doom is going to hunt you down. You're probably going to get caught in a Bramble Maze with the help of the Infernal Blade, and there's a lot of damage coming out from that Shadow Realm. So even if they don't go for the cheese, it's still a nice combination in the offlane here.
It isn't. To that point, even more, it's like, I wonder if that's even... For all we know, Winstrike's sitting here like not even thinking about Morphling. They don't even care about that. But I guarantee you, Singularity is. So that's part of that why they took so long there with the reserve time. Like, oh crap, did we just set ourselves up for failure now? But Abaddon is going to be their third option. So their heavy support is the Abaddon, and I suppose it's all right this game already. The Photic Shield, as usual, is going to provide some good support. The Mist Coil spam
remaining.
Certainly strong. Did get a slight nerf last patch, but again, I still think we can expect to see this hero plenty.
Yeah, the Aphotic Shield is really good versus this Dark Willow. Anyone caught in a brambles, anyone affected by the Cursed Crown. So yeah, a very useful hero, getting rid of most of the disable that the Dark Willow is able to put out on anyone.
Team pick.
Storm Spirit.
Storm Spirit. Huh. Okay.
It's just Kuman's favorite hero, really. It's
Oh,
not an
yeah.
insane Storm Spirit game. He'll do, probably not win the lane versus the TA, but like the TA as well, he's able to farm jungle very, very well. And Kuman loves this
10
hero.
seconds remaining.
He's undisputably amazing on it.
5 seconds.
They have
remaining.
Doom, so they don't need to worry about that as a counter. I'm trying to think of other heroes, though, that potentially would be good. Anti-Mage is still there. If Singularity wants to get pretty greedy, they could go the AM route. And the lockdown from Winstrike isn't necessarily that strong. It's okay.
I think Singularity, Earthshaker is either a 4 or 3 position. I think more commonly we're seeing
Radiant
him
team back.
reverted to 3 position, but
Anti-mage.
you were totally right. They're just going right for the carry of the anti-mage. I was thinking they might choose either another offlaner or a 4 position who offers a lot of lockdown for the Storm Spirit, like the Shadow Shaman or something. But there's the instant counter to the Storm Spirit in the AM. He's just a big walking pile of mana for you to blow up.
Yeah, it feels so good against him, especially if you get a
10
Basher and
seconds
eventual
remaining.
Abyssal Blade, then you're like, thank you very much. I'll take the huge AoE damage. So
5 seconds remaining.
that was my one issue, I guess, with doing the 4th pick Winstrike, or 4th pick Storm Spirit, that is, that there are a couple of counters still there on the board, and Anti-Mage certainly one of them. Now, obviously, I'm sure Winstrike thought about this, and now maybe they had a game plan for it in terms of their final pick as well against the AM with their safe lane option. I'm trying to think. Like,
Dire team
Morphling still is actually decent for Winstrike, I feel.
I don't really think you want to be playing Morphling into AM just for those mana concerns that we talk about. Obviously, if you're able to come in late to a fight, become the AM yourself, the mobility as well as getting the mana burn on yourself is very nice. But I don't think you usually want to play it into that matchup.
Okay.
10
One thing I do have to say
remaining.
is I really like Dark Willow versus Anti-Mage because she does have that AoE
5
disable.
seconds
It's
remaining.
not something you're able to Manta style off, not reflect with your counter spell with her ultimate. So, you might be able to get a
Dire
fear
team pick.
into a Doom on this Anti-Mage. And that is an interesting ban with the Drow Ranger. I know Winstrike played Drow Storm Spirit a lot the last patch, but Drow Ranger has been hurt a lot.
Her farming certainly was hit quite a bit with the whole no longer working on Ancients, especially, but the silence I still think was the biggest concern for Singularity. That Gust and the synergy with the Storm Spirit, it does provide plenty, of course, there too. So yeah,
10
I understand it.
seconds remaining.
Despite the nerfs taking place, could have certainly been a pick for Winstrike. But now
5
Singularity
seconds
needs to
remaining.
figure out, like we talk about, is that going to be an Earthshaker off lane or in position 4? We'll
Yeah.
determine this final pick.
Either way, I think they need someone to control the Storm Spirit. They need something
Yes.
with some sort of stun. And I mean, there are so many in each of the positions.
Earth Spirit.
It's been a while since I've seen an Earth
Radiant
Spirit,
team
but
pick.
usually he's paired with the Dark Sea, and they do go for the 4 position Shaman. So I was right about that earlier on. I thought they would take it before they take the
Yeah.
AM, but they just thought maybe it would get banned out. So for the side of Winstrike here, I think they want another bit of disable for the anti-mage, and they need a carry. So I vote Sven. I might not be right, but that's who I think would really round out this draft.
10
Sven, huh?
seconds remaining.
Yeah, no,
Five
Sven's
seconds
okay.
remaining.
Earthshaker's a little annoying. He doesn't help with the refraction necessarily. I still think the refraction is a concern for this Radiant team. That would be my biggest thing to try to maybe help address.
Choose your hero.
Spectre. I don't know, though. That feels weird.
I mean, it's a lot of global present. We casted a match, didn't we, where they played the Silent Spectre into this anti-mage, and they were able to win it in the end. It was the match where they looked like Winstrike, they were very behind, and then they were able to win it at the
yeah.
end. They
That's
just
right.
started winning the fights, and then they were able to take over. So they do like this Spectre into the AM. And what did he build? He built Drum's Manta Diffusal, if I remember correctly, for Silent.
Yeah,
So
that was
that's-
it, yeah.
Yeah, so that's the kind of build he's going for, and they just believe that the Spectre obviously is a harder carry than the AM, but you do always run the risk of Excalibur getting, 6 slotted before your Spectre's truly online, and especially Pimmercheck, they have a lot of control for Silent, and this TA will be able to output the damage, so I'm a little bit interested here, and they don't have a lot of control for this anti-mage, do they?
Yeah, that's what I go back to as well, is I suppose I was thinking of Refraction Taker. Maybe they don't have the greatest app, but yeah, the lockdown on Anti-Mage isn't necessarily that strong. They do have a couple of okay routes but it does feel like he's setting up to have a pretty free game. And always scary, especially when he has a huge nuke target in Storm Spirit on the other side. So Spectre, we'll see if Silent is up for the challenge. As you mentioned, has done it even just yesterday, as we happen to see with Winstrike, one of their victories and why they're at this point in the first place. But loading into game number 2 now. So Winstrike, the favorites going into this matchup. Singularity certainly had a great chance to win that game 1, though. Just coming up short after a mistake, and Winstrike capitalized, thus up 1-0. Trying to capitalize in further and take the series now with a 2-0. So should set up for a good game, though, with the
Prepare for
draft.
battle.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see this matchup. Last game was a real pleasure to watch, you know, with some cheese, with some new interactions, you know. Massive props to, you know, to the side of Singularity for trying something new, trying something really cool. Like, this is what I've been waiting for all these games, you know, someone to show me something new, and that's certainly what Singularity have done. So, a lot of praise to them, and so we'll see if they're able to make it a full best of 3.
Storm Spirit getting the ward down mid. And immediately walks back. As far as how the lanes are setting up, it looks like the expected. Good old 2-1-2. No musical lanes early on here, at least so far. Got Rasta Earthshaker at the bottom. That's definitely a kill combo if I've ever seen one.
30 seconds.
So Oracle going to have to be on point with both his positioning as well as saving, I guess, Spectre with the Spectral Dagger. Shouldn't necessarily be in too much trouble. It's more Oracle himself. Has to be careful.
Yeah, but the side of Singularity, they're being aggressive around both sets of runes, actually. So I'm curious to see if Winstrike are going to be able to get any.
Watching the bottom, the opening up on Earthshaker. Now the Fortune's End, reading him in place, but Silent's taking way too much damage to contest this. It is going to be taken by the Dire. At the top side, Lil got his. Bramble May is good for that, but it is a 3-for-1. So Singularity with the aggressive bounty rune control does give them the advantage, at least.
Yeah, Shadow Shaman obviously did get nerfed this patch, but the only thing they targeted was his Ether Shock mana cost at the early levels. So the right clicks on this support, you know, he has nothing to support his right click, and he just hits a 74. It's, I mean, I guess that's the power of the Shaman.
Yeah, Shadow Shaman is one of his strengths, the right click of the 74 base damage. Sure, the Ether Shock is nice, but his being able to right click as effectively as he is one of the reasons why he's one of the better holy support in the game. Yeah. Silent running at Shoshlo, seeing that he went Enchant Totem at level 1, just for the simple purpose of helping with his last hits. That's a greedy choice, though, in my opinion. No fissure. Get that stun out, but
I mean, if you're not roaming Earthshaker and you know you're not going to use this fissure for lane control, then the Enchant Totem it just allows you to secure the CS as well as being pretty useful for just that hit onto Silent. So I honestly think it's worth it because obviously he will get a point into fissure as well as some points into the aftershock later on. So yeah. Just securing early CS is so important so that you don't get down in experience.
You can tell Winstrike is very aware, though. They constantly are pressuring Shoshlo, knowing that he doesn't have a fissure and he doesn't have aftershock, of course, so they don't even need to worry about getting stunned by that Enchant Totem. So they're putting some good pressure, but as soon as level 2 hits, Shoshlo will feel a little better about how things are in that lane, I'm sure. Mid matchup, Storm Spirit versus the Templar Assassin. Storm is 9-1, TA 8-1, so it is a very back and forth battle at this time of the earlier levels. Excalibur is getting low top lane. He's going to be fine, but he clearly is taking plenty of pressure up top.
Yeah, I'm curious if he actually goes for this Wraith Band or deviates and goes for that early Ring of Regen that we do see.
Oh, wow. Did he just blink in?
Yeah.
Jeez, that was scary. Almost died there for that, but he is going to be fine. But a very bold play by Excalibur.
Yeah, both him and Poshka very low. Poshka is going to have the deny in 2 seconds. So he'll be able to bring out whatever items Excalibur wants. That's one of the nice things about having an Abaddon, because when they do deny themselves, they'll be back with whatever you want.
Pause coming out here as SMG needs a second. So the winner of this advancing on to the grand finals, where they're going to be taking on Vega Squadron, who We only got the chance to cast them just in the best of 3 earlier today, in the previous series, in fact. But man, did they look impressive. They went through Group B undefeated. And again, a roster that not really too familiar with, but it's one that clearly is strong. And so no matter who plays them, it's setting up for a pretty good best of 5 grand finals, which again will be taking place tomorrow.
Yeah, I do have to say, in these recent major and minor qualifiers, it really looks like CIS has had a bit of a resurgence here in the Dota scene, at least in their strength. It used to really only be VP the one good team, and then the other team would always underperform at the majors. But really, the amount of CIS Dota I've been watching, and they're looking very, very strong.
A couple of points off of that is, one, the region, it does have a lot of chaos to it, similar to South America, in my opinion, where there's constantly roster shifting and leadership and everything, and outside of VP. But two, I've been saying this whole season, even before, that yeah, CIS is very underrated in terms of the secondary teams. As bottom lane Jerry, Silent's going to be chasing after him, and another Purifying Flames takes him out. So again, that's Oracle for you. Even at level 1, those Purifying Flames deal so much damage every single burst on just over a 2-second cooldown. But yeah, CIS, when they happen to find a roster that works, and all of a sudden this new team will seem like they're shining, they do so for about a month or two, and then they just go away. It's like VP, and then you have all these teams that constantly rise up and then fall down quickly, it feels like. It's a very interesting region for that reason.
Yeah, you're totally right about that. But instead of talking about the region as a whole, I guess we should focus on these two teams in front of us. And
no, let's talk about North America Dota for a second. No, just kidding.
I mean, to break you for a second, I thought you were going to want to talk about Hon again. This mid lane Pinwinstrike is coming out a bit on top, as we expected. The TA, now she has more levels in the refraction with the extra damage, is able to secure a few more denies and a few more CS. But are they going to be able to kill Nofri in this bottom lane?
They're trying. Josh Lowe gets the auto attack off. He's in trouble though now because of the chase. Oh, never mind. He pops a salve, he runs away. Spectre cannot chase further. The Spectral Dagger on cooldown. But yeah, they find Oracle doing a pull off to the side, and they manage to kill him. 5-minute bounty runes are coming in. Maposhka, by the way, just denied himself. Not sure if that was just on purpose or if last second there. Almost dying, but either way, he's TPing back in. Yeah, gonna apply some more regen. But yeah, you mentioned the mid matchup. TA continues the slight advantage for her over Storm Spirit.
Both of them have actually been spending a lot of money on regen. I feel that's like the third salve I've seen Pinwinstrike taking down, but it's just so important to stay in this mid lane and not let either hero be contested. So it's worth spending that money to just have that regen.
Yeah. Excalibur blinking in aggressively again on Ingrata, but he is at a mana, so he's not doing as much damage for multiple auto attacks. Still keeping the pressure up. Also knowing that he has the constant mist coil spam of Paladin, I suppose gives you a bit more freedom to play as aggressive as he's playing.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, Silent is actually doing half decently here in this Spectre. They have, managed to kill Nofri as we caught in the bottom lane. But most of the time, Spectre, they have such rough laning stages. That's, the real weakness of this hero is how hard she's able to be pressured in lane. And it looks like, other than that one death, they're doing a very good job against what I would say looks like a very scary lane to me with the Shadow Charm and Earthshaker.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mentioned from the beginning, it's a very deadly combo on paper. And Joshua trying to make that show right here, but Silent's just too beefy. He has level 2 Dispersion. He's got Infused Raindrop even on him, so it's a combo. It's going to force out some regen, I suppose, but he's fine. I keep going back to this anti-mage top lane, though, and again, right as I go up here, he just blinks right in. He's going for damage on Angrata. He's going to take a curse ground. Nope, the Aphotic hit in the last second. Here comes Storm Spirit, though, and now Excalibur, he bit off too much. He's in trouble. Mistquell heal. Counter spell. Oh, he got the reflex of the Vortex. Is it enough? No, that would have been something if he's able to blink out in time, but he just did not have the cooldown ready, despite the big play.
Yeah, I wondered why Kuman was holding on to that Vortex for so long after he zipped in, but eventually they do get the kill of Excalibur. Finally, he is punished for his over-aggression. But, I feel he's just not that afraid of this Doom because every time he's seeing this Doom, he's just burning all of his mana, so he knows there is going to be no Infernal Blades and no Scorcher. Well, yeah, I hear you sniggering at Maposhka's deny that.
Yeah. He had a 10 charge stick. I was wondering if he's just going to use that to stay in the lane, but he's like, nah, he mangoes and then denies himself. That was kind of funny. But yeah, he is back in now. He wanted full life, full mana. Jackal bottom lane, Oracle. Takes the enchant totem hit. There's another one, and boom, shakalaka. He just falls into the ground. Silent, though, gets the turn on Jerry. Makes it a 1-for-1. Not much more Shachla can do about that.
Yeah, it's as
Silent feeling good.
Yeah, it's as well as the fact that Silent, he's now hit his level 6. So I honestly wouldn't be surprised if either in the top lane for them to set up for a rotation for him, or Kuman to maybe get aggressive. But the side of Winstrike, they're very good about playing around catapult timings and that kind of thing. So I think we might not see the aggression until the 9.5 minute mark to just wait for that 10-minute catapult.
Mm-hmm. Oracle rotating back over to the bottom lane as Jerry's attempting a pull of sorts. As he just goes for the shackle and saying King Vincent goes down mid lane, by the way. 2 Storm Spirit. I'm watching this bottom lane, though, as they initiated on Spectre. He gets healed up by Oracle, however. And he'll be good to go. But yeah, I looked at the mini-map. If Batten was coming over, but Storm Spirit managed to kill TA before Batten could get there.
Yeah, I mean, they were both getting very low, and just this one point in Electric Vortex, ever since the change where it no longer slows you, the Storm Spirits, they just had so much more early kill potential, and it looks like she just didn't have the refraction charges, and he's able to kill her in that duration.
Nongrata again running away. We are seeing some interaction at the top lane that is pretty good for the Dire team. And Poshek constantly saving a Photic Shield for when the Cursed Ground's applied. To perch it off. Jerry goes down bottom lane though. Echo Slam from Shashlo. Wants that turn kill. Is not going to get it. Again, Oracle on point with the heal. Got Fate's Edict as well, the Magic Immunity. And now Earthshaker. He's probably dead. Storm Spirit flies in with the TP, and Kuman is indeed on a killing spree. So this is the Kuman Storm Spirit that Singularity was hoping not to see.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. Solo killing a TA in the mid lane. That is definitely not meant to happen as a level 9 Storm Spirit. And Silent, you know, he's had a relatively decent time. You know, his CS, it might not be outstanding, but it's close enough to Excalibur's, as well as the fact that he's managed to get 2 kills on himself. And he's going back to base now. We're coming up to that 10-minute mark. And I wouldn't be surprised if the way he returns to lane is with a Horn.
Yeah, still haven't seen that first haunt. So going back right now with the regen. We'll see if he goes for that play. Maybe the top lane, because there's some jump. But Anti-Mage blinking away well before any chance happens there. Working on the Battle Fury, of course. Excalibur doesn't have any components outside of the Quelling play, but at least he has the Ring of Health queued up. So I assume it's going to be a Battle Fury for Excalibur, but the 10-minute bounty rune spawn, and we got the 2-for-2 split. Spectre's just running back dead.
Thank goodness we don't have to have the awkward conversation where we try and justify the non-Battle Fury build, because...
Oh, I didn't try to justify it. I think it's...
Nongrata is a real combo in the top lane, and that's going to be a kill on the Doom. Nice rotation from Winstrike. So both mid-heroes getting involved in their respective safe lanes.
Yeah, TA is not as likely, but making the play there. That's a good kill to have, and teammates with the Mana Void as Spectre. Where's he going? He's going bottom lane. We're using Haunt to make these plays happen. Jerry falls. Oracle was picked off initially. Shashla pulled back into the Vortex. Kuman's currently out of mana, though.
Yeah, they have to be careful. A lot of damage from these wards, and Silent getting very low after that one in. He will have the dagger, and that should allow him to find Sashro. No, he misses.
He tried to go for the fissure at the last second, but not in time. But yeah, the dagger missing there initially. Didn't matter. As Excalibur, oh, yeah, he tried to bait out the counter with the Doom. He finally uses it after now. So good bait there from Doom. And with the Cursed Ground and Photic Shield to mitigate some damage, isn't enough. He keeps walking. The Hex, even Shadow Shaman coming in. Benjamin turns around. What are you doing, buddy? That was a bold decision. But he is going to live in the long run. So, close call. Good supports, though.
Yeah, the support's really showing this Abaddon, his main purpose in life is to protect his cause, and really paying off there. And now there's no Doom, so Excalibur, he's more than happy to sit in this lane for a good long while, because he's not afraid of that big ultimate. Oh, Pinbin checks rotating again as well.
Oh, false promise coming out. Oracle accepts death. He's gonna make sure to help get Dark Willow out of here though. Lil running, mana void, everything. Okay, false promise wore off. He didn't die initially, but he dies after. Non-Grata's in trouble now too. He's got drums picked up, or is he in trouble? Because Kuman shows up good shackles. It stops him in his place, and they're gonna turn because of it. The shackles from Jerry on point. Doom's also in trouble now too, and suddenly 4 are dead on the side of Winstrike. Jerry and Abaddon, or Jerry and Miposhka are playing very well up here.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you there. I just have to point out the build over here in the Doom. He doesn't have a point in the Infernal Blade, so there's no way he can break that Shadow Shaman shackles. So I think maybe a bit of a miscommunication there, because Storm Spirit, I think he felt he would have been safe, but Kuman just, there's no way of getting rid of that control, and Pimvachek is more than happy to offer the damage there to take down his rival in Kuman. And now Pimvachek actually 500 gold ahead of this Storm Spirit, who was the one to get a solo kill on him.
That is, I mean, I guess I understand why he didn't go Infernal Blade because of the Abaddon and the Aphotic Shield Purge, but yeah, I guess that is enough of a reason now that I think about it. But yeah, that does suck that he didn't have it right there to help keep his teammate alive. But certainly big plays for Singularity, and they're up 2,000 net worth. That's nothing to sneeze at, as they say. Kuman, though, on Storm Spirit, 5,300 net worth himself. He's second, and he does have his Kaya picked up. And certainly is going to be hunting for more kills soon. He's 5-1-0 now. That was his first death, of course, in this game. Silent, though, he does have his drums finished on Spectre. You are seeing that earlier I'm ready to fight build on him.
Yeah, exactly. And that's definitely the right thing to build versus an anti-mage. It means hopefully once your team is ready to group up and fight, you should be able to get those kills.
Contesting down here. Spectre gets support from Doom.
Top tower is under attack.
TA, you do see the Desolator finished on Pimvachek. Is falling back as a team, though, as Anti-Mage continues to do his thing up at the top lane. Desolator is an interesting choice first for TA this game, considering you have an Anti-Mage teammate. I've heard this logic described as you go Deso to ideally help your farm even that much more in the game, as well, we'll talk about that more, because top lane they want to kill Anti-Mage. Haunt from Silent, he's going in, he wants this kill Bally, he's not going to get it though, Abaddon TPs. And Spectre has to respect that, so he falls back. Mid lane, Storm Spirit goes down though. Jerry catches him with the Hex, and the follow-up damage with the Desolator is enough damage, and now the Shackles on Doom, he's just walking on by! He knew that they were there, but he's not fast enough. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, that bite on Grata was very questionable when he walks in. I understand the other two, the Storm Spirit being caught out, but Lil in the top lane, you know, he just didn't go for the... I don't know if he had mana or wasn't able to terrorize the anti-mage, and they didn't have enough control for him. I think it's possibly because he was using the Bedlam to deal the damage instead of letting the Spectre do it. But it just means Excalibur able to blink away, a lot committed for him in the top lane, and nothing gained.
So back to the point, though, about TA, the Blink first opens up more of a let's roam and make some kills happen and create space for your position one that's a very farm-heavy, in this case, the Anti-Mage. So that was the only thing I was getting at, but frankly, now that she's gotten a kill on Storm Spirit with it and is now back to farming, I mean, she's going to have a Blink Dagger very shortly anyways, and so that whole conversation doesn't necessarily matter. But that's usually the reason why you would see a Blink or a Deso first on this hero.
Yeah, so I'll tell you why I think it's really okay, even though the Anti-Mage wants to be farming, is the fact, you know, by the time the Anti-Mage is actually able to power farm the jungle with his Battle Fury, TA's going to have both items. So, you know, just by getting this Desolator, it's before the Anti-Mage is really the one clearing through these jungle camps. And it just accelerates you forward, so you have your Deso Blink when your Anti-Mage has his Battle Furies, and by that time you're fighting, and it leaves Excalibur to farm the jungles.
Yeah. That's fair. Double damage being camped out by Abaddon, and lets TA pick it up, who, by the way, now has enough gold for the Blink Dagger. She's going to head towards bottom. Going to probably purchase the Blink, and they're going to probably surprise whoever's down here. That's Doom currently hiding. So he doesn't have a clue yet that they're heading over. No vision in the area, but there's a Blink purchase.
Yeah, they have this really nice trap under the tower that they will scout out eventually. But it means they know the Doom's here, and they have the vision for him. I don't think you're getting away from this one.
No, TP, you better cancel. Yeah, I was going to say, you do not want to come into this. They cancel it very quickly, realizing what's committed. Even the roster awards, which is probably not necessary, but Jerry didn't know how many heroes were here, to be fair. Just simply throwing those down to help kill the tower. But they kill the tower. Top tier 1 is being pushed in by Kuman. We'll see if Singularity responds if they keep pushing bottom.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Yes, Kuman, he is going for that Orchid. I guess in fights he wants to be focusing down the Shadow Shaman. The Shadow Shaman is probably the easiest kill for him to get. Because obviously you can't kill off Maposhka because he has that inbuilt borrowed time. And I think the Earthshaker is probably a little bit too tanky for your Storm Turret to be able to handle. So I think this Shadow Shaman is who the Kuman is going to be looking for in most of the fights.
bottom tower has fallen. Dire's top tower is under attack.
So they kill the tier 2 tower. Making their way as a team through the jungle. This is a very solid 4-1 strategy from Singularity being ran. Sticking together as a 4, anti-mage completely elsewhere, farming Nangrata. It's going to continue being a difficult game for him. Fissure hits on the wrong side, it doesn't matter. The stun is what was needed. And Big Winstrike has a mega kill streak now. We just mentioned the combo of the Blink and the Deso. He already has 1,600 gold towards now a BKB to follow soon. This is a very farmed Templar assassin at this point, and of course we know what this hero can do when getting said farm.
Yeah, and this is an anti-mage who has just completed his Battle Fury at the 18-minute mark. That this is a pretty slow Battle Fury by all standards. But you know, because of the work the rest of his team have been able to do, it means his TA is #1 in net worth, and he's just second. You know, he's still ahead of the entire side of Winstrike. So I really feel the side of Winstrike, they have to look for some sort of fight. They're going for the Crimson God on non-grata, so I'm looking for some sort of initiation item, but they don't really seem to have one. So I'm not quite sure how you start good fights for the side of Winstrike.
Yeah, Storm and Spectre, kinda, but yeah, I do think Doom could have definitely used it and have a Centaur specifically, and being able to just get in there and start things off and allow for the course and then follow-up would be more ideal. So I'm with you there, but Oracle, he gets found and trying his best to survive, and you know what? He's going to survive even longer now because of the false promise, and in fact might actually get away. They don't want to chase into the village. Caliber pop the counter spell. He is so good at the reaction there. Makes it look easy. Haunt is used, but is it really going to result in much? Miposhka running away. Borrowed Time was already activated, so they do kill him, but the Actor Shaker jumps in the Mana Void and down goes Storm. Exactly why AM is picked in the Storm Spirit.
Yeah, just a big ball of mana sitting there. Shashlo, you know, good play by him, just holding on to the Echo Sam. You know, other players might have popped it, but realizing they just have more than enough damage. And I have to say, things feel really bad from the side of Winstrike. You committed your big ultimate of a Horn, and all you get is the 5 position of an Abaddon. And Roshan's been opened up by this. Shashlo, this Aghanim Scepter, it feels like a very early Aghanim Scepter for how that bottom lane went for them. And I'm not really sure what the side of Winstrike are able to do anymore, because it's exactly as you said, this Doom, he doesn't have the Centaur creep. He's not building into a Blink Tag. And the Winstrike, I don't know how they're going to start good fights for them. Like, if you start off with a Haunt, if you're not able to find anyone, that's a big ultimate on cooldown for a long period of time.
Yeah. That was a prime example right there. I mean, if he has that Centaur spell, and he has a Blink, I know I'm saying a lot here, but he jumps the Anti-Mage. Anti-Mage can't counterspell react, and then that initiation goes much better. But without that, AM, Excalibur's a great player. He's going to be able to react to these. Oh, well.
I saw what happened, if you want to know. They just, Silent was able to get the vision on him, and they dive him. He used the counterspell correctly, but they had enough damage, even without using the Electric Vortex. But over here, Storm Spirit once again might be in real danger.
Well, TA is running away too, but the Echo Slam gets the kill from Earthshaker, and now he jumps onto the Spectre. If he gets Spectre as well, that'd be something. False Promise even going to be used for this, though. TA is putting in the damage. Face Edict to Disarm, but he got the auto attack off first, and Spectre, I think he's still dead. He's going to stay alive barely after it wears off, but unstoppable streak now for the Templar Assassin. So they did actually kill the Anti-Mage right after I'm talking about. They're not going to be able to, but it didn't matter in the big picture because the rest of Singularity was ready to fight there, especially the Templar.
Yeah, you know, Excalibur's just saying, I set that up on purpose. You know, that's
Sure.
it was a tactical feed, as they say. But yeah, this Pinvinchet TA is becoming a real problem. Has almost enough money, I think, just to buy the BKB outright. And then I have no idea what you do for her. This Spectre is nowhere near able to output the physical damage necessary to kill off this TA, especially kill her twice with this Aegis.
Who needs a BKB when you could buy an Orchid instead? TA making a statement right here. buys the Orchid is saying, this game, we're feeling very good. I have an Aegis currently. I haven't needed a BKB up until this point. What means I'll need one now, I think is really the logic there, and I like it. I mean, you have an Abaddon support already protecting you quite a bit. Supporting casting in general has been fantastic. Just get more aggressive. I love this choice. It's also great against the Storm Spirit himself, and I think that's going to be a big game changer.
As well as the Oracle, you know, we talked about Storm Spirit, who he wants to be finding on the back line. Pinwin, you know, he finds the Oracle in the back line of fight, and what are they going to do? They have an... Oh, no, Silent. He shows himself.
Yeah. Or is he? The trees? It's TP, the Orchid. He's dead. Yeah, the Orchid burn kills him. Oh. And Lil dies over here as well during that, so... They will talk about making use of the Orchid immediately after he gets it. Within seconds, he uses it to kill the Spectre.
Yeah, and I think they're just going to look to push high ground, at least force back a buyback from the Spectre. But, you know, they have level 2 Serpent Wards, almost level 3 Serpent Wards. The amount of experience these Shadow Shamans been able to get with that 20% talent. And I just don't really know how you fight into this if you're the side of Winstrike. Singularity, they really seem to be rolling. And Excalibur, he hasn't had to do anything this entire game.
Radiant's bottom barracks.
Yeah, that's actually crazy, the fact he's second highest level in the game right now. I mean, 20% experience is something, but still, as a support, that really shouldn't be the case. But Jerry's doing fantastic for sure. In fact, he's also finished a Glimmer Cape now to go with his 8th lands. He has double Bracer. He is having a hell of a game for this entire team. But Shrine Kill coming out for SNG, at least that's the attempt. They are going to get it, though. Excalibur is here with Josh Lowe. Manta Style finished on the AM, so yeah, we keep talking about TA and how pretty she is with her items. There is this anti-mage that's slightly behind the TA, but better than anyone else in this game by a bit. That's also there doing his thing. So really, this is Singularity. In fact, the win percentage, yeah, it's 94% according to the win probability right now, and I believe it. Now, it also was very high last game, so it's decision-making that's going to be the difference maker here from Singularity.
Yeah, seeing that win percentage, that's a bit of a yikes from me there. But the side of Winstrike, they correctly identified what the issue with their lineup is. So they have this Blink Dagger on Non Grata. They totally agreed with us that they were having issues starting the fight. So Non Grata has deviated from that Crimson Guard that he's had queued up for a while. I think he will swap out for the War Stomp. I understand the Ice Armor's pretty nice against the Templar Assassin. But Winstrike, they really have to look to get a kill. Maybe they'll fight as this Aegis expires. They should have kept time of when it's going to happen. And maybe they'll go for a smoke around that.
I just don't get it. We've seen multiple times now that Excalibur's quick enough to react, if anything, to the Vortex initiation from Storm Spirit. So they need more crowd control to deal with the anti-mage, and they're not really addressing that. As we keep going back to with the Dune specifically, I mean, he has the blink, but he really needs that crowd control, whether it's the Centaur, whether it's a net, I suppose. But either way, Oracle just dies. The Haunt is going to be activated. Okay, Tiani is doomed up currently, so she falls. She falls very quick with the Bedlam on top too. The Mana Void explodes, but Kuman has more mana left and managed to stay alive through it. Even the false bombs that coming up, but Josh with a big Echo Slam on 3 heroes all clumped up together. Excalibur trying to cleave them down. Kuman explodes finally after the fact. Triple kill for Jerry in the midst of this fight. He's on that Rasta. Silent attempting to get away. Excalibur keeps getting healed though from the Abaddon, and thus is able to keep on chasing. Doom is now caught up with the shackles, the long-range shackles, and Excalibur ends up cutting him down. So, I mean, Winstrike, a good start on the Templar Assassin, but okay, they just call GG. They're like, this is enough. Let's go game 3 now.
Yeah, I can't blame them. They know how far they expended everything to be able to get that TA kill, and the rest of the side of Singularity, they're able to survive. I have to say, I love what Singularity did there, because usually when you lose your Aegis, you're the side that wants to play defensive. But they literally go for a fight as soon as their Aegis expires, and that's exactly when Winstrike aren't expecting it. They buy back instantaneously on their Oracle, but it's not enough to be able to turn the fight, even though, you know, you allowed Kuman to output all of his damage, all of his mana, because he had that false promise on him. It just wasn't enough. Pinwin was just far too far ahead, and Excalibur, I know he got a little bit involved in that last fight, but really it felt like the other 4 heroes from the side of Singularity would have been able to win even if they didn't have an anti-mage.
Yeah, Singularity certainly looks very good. Again, in the first game, it's arguably a game that they should have won. The chart was saying it was very believable. They just simply stuck around too long, and then Winstrike in that case capitalized off of their mistake and pushed back and won game one. So that's why we're in game two here with a 1-0 lead for Winstrike. But Singularity, they certainly were the better team in this game too. To me, also, if I had to say, it was not Singularity just playing better. I do look at the drafting end as Spectre final pick, and it's just like, okay. I mean, Spectre, sure. It just didn't feel like an option that made the most sense. I do think they were low on reserve time at that point, and so maybe they got into a panic spot of like, all right, let's just pick a Spectre for whatever reason. But certainly there could have been some better options there as a final.
The Spectre, it's just such a slow hero because it doesn't do well in the lanes, and it certainly didn't do great in that bottom lane, and it takes so long to get online. And this is why I said I preferred a fighting hero like the Sven, like the Wraith King isn't great into the anti-mage, but you know, anything that offers you another stun, a little bit of lockdown, and comes online earlier. And you're totally right. The Spectre, it was just far too long before he was able to do anything, and he didn't really help out even with those haunts in the later game.
Well, the good news is we have a game number 3, our final game of today. It comes down to Singularity versus Winstrike. We'll see what happens. The winner moves on to the grand finals tomorrow, which will be a best of 5 against Vegas Squadron. I'm Breaky CPK, joined by Hasbaz. The Chi League Invitational European region continues next with Game 3.